I guess we'll start with we got very short last week on because we didn't do all that much. So last week we finished the quest line about the gemstone that they were looking for. They returned it to the Minotaur blacksmith, who installed all these nice crafting things inside your inn, which Junior has been playing with for like the last 20 minutes.
I made 30 bullets and it didn't cost me 333 money.
Yeah, we now have a gunsmith who can shoot things. Like, he can actually fire his bullets. He also has a new rifle. He has a new double-barreled rifle, so it's like 2 long barrels on top of each other. So
I called it faith. Faith in myself.
Last week, like the only important things we really need to mention last week are that we had an unresolved conversation that the party needed to have about the fact that all the weapons that the goblins had on them seem to have been supplied by relatives of Junior. And also, at the end of last week, I think I failed to mention that there will have been a letter at the inn for Jacques that states that if he's available, Odette, the orc lady who you left your tarot cards with, has set up a meeting with you and her informant tomorrow.
I didn't leave them with her though.
No, you don't. Sorry, I meant.
I made sure I didn't do that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Unlike Dorhim forgetting to take his shield out of the box, which I forgot.
That was funny.
I really wish I'd done that because that would have been like. I would have loved to see Dorhim during the boss fight of last session, just like 1 second, guys, just running back.
I didn't have my shield for that whole boss fight.
You didn't use it anyway, yeah. You tried to use it, but
the only thing you did was stop an attack.
Yeah, and you missed it and broke and stopped Chris from hitting. I've lost my paper. God damn it. But yeah, so we're back in Marin's Eve. We've brought back 2 new employees to the inn, Piper and Hawkins. Eighth has been doing her job. You know, she's been stealing like watches and stuff like that from people of Woodhurst.
Excellent.
She knows what she's doing. So I've got like first question is like we just briefly touched upon this off camera, but I think we should really have a discussion as a group about Piper and Hawkins before we get going today.
Okay.
So Piper and Hawkins are upstanding gentlemen of their town. They came from the desert town of what did I call it? Olar. Not Omar. Olar. I mistyped it on one of on their thing. I'm changing
because
it now.
Now we have a document which says, and it says at the top, Piper and Hawkins. They don't get individual profiles, and they're hired muscle from Olar. Dorhim offered them 25 gold per month to stand there and be all imposing. Like
that's exactly how I worded it.
That's exactly how it is worded.
Okay, but yeah. So the first question is, what are you going to say to 8 about them?
Like,
Dorhim, you can handle this. You're the one who hired them.
Hey, Piper and Hawkins are going to be here for a while. And then that'll be the end of the conversation.
Yeah, she's kind of like, your thing, boss.
Good. Glad we had this talk.
Can I pass by her and just be like, don't steal off of them?
She's like, yeah, sure.
They don't have anything to steal anyway.
Yeah. Well, more importantly, like the same thing that like happened with April, you got her to sign a contract. You'll probably be doing the same thing. You know, locking in that value that Dorhim promised them to pay.
Yeah.
And you know, making sure that you know they get a fair share of the profit. They do their jobs. Yada yada yada. So yeah, what is their jobs?
Well,
what are their jobs? Are they general dog's bodies or?
Yeah, I guess so. I would assume. I mean, like,
have one be a bartender, have the other one be a bouncer, maybe.
But it's a bartender.
Yeah.
But she doesn't actually make us in-game money. It's the thing.
She's bartender by day, master criminal by night.
She makes us money by stealing, not from bartending.
Yep.
I mean, to tell her not to tell those 2 that.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for. That's why we're having this discussion. It's my GM's gentle way of saying you might want to make sure that You tell Ape not to tell Piper and Hawkins that you guys are master criminals. Well, master. You guys are attempting to be.
We're getting there.
You know what? We'll corrupt them in the end. We might not see it our way to begin with, but we won't even have to do anything and they'll see it our way.
Yeah. Okay. So, now we've dealt with that. Piper and Hawkins, the inn, like, you probably have, like, I'm just gonna shoehorn this in because it makes it easier for all of us. You guys probably have, like, a back room where it's like, you've got a couple of bunk beds set up in there, so they've got a place where they can set up. I really like the idea of them just having one tiny room with a bunk bed, because I've just decided that Piper and Hawkins only ever go where Piper and, like, the other one is, so...
Piper and Hawkins, go where Piper and Hawkins pleases.
They're the true OTP.
Yep. No, they're just bros, man. Don't try to make this anything gay. God, you and your homosexual agenda. Yeah. Right. So, we've dealt with Piper and Hawkins. Now, it's reasonable, like, we're gonna time skip to the next day. Will be the day where Jacques will meet with Odette about the tarot cards. Well, and also Junior, this will be where you do your crafting.
This is the day where I make my bullets and
you also
prepare
want
my
my
rifle.
Yeah. So Blight and
And
Dorhim,
rest.
is there anything you would like to do on, like, in this morning before we go straight to Jacques meeting Odette?
No.
No, I'm fine as well.
Cool. Brilliant. Best kind of party. Just like, yeah, let's get on with the story. I like it. Okay. I am now just loading up my document with all the words in it.
Okay.
Your script.
Yes, I have. I like my scripts.
Hmm.
It's more bullet points than scripts, but okay.
Remind me quickly before we do that. The mask that we took from the boss last time, we already sold that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think we got given the money, yeah. It was just because it was in my inventory and I can't remember if we
I
just
gave us
straight
a
up sold it or not.
No, wait. Like, Dorhim, you keep the notes of how much money I give you guys. How much did you get last week?
I don't have any money for that. I have 80 gold for a necklace.
You're buying jewelry.
Right. If I remember correctly, you guys pawned off. I don't think you guys sold the mask and the necklace that you guys looted last time. You sold off the box, the treasure chest full of stuff you got from the goblin encampment.
Right.
But because you couldn't hold on to that. You had to liquidize that as quickly as possible because it belonged to Piper and Hawkins people.
Mhm.
As far as I'm aware, you guys still have anything else you looted.
Cool.
You could probably
Did
make more
we-
money for them.
Did we make the money off of that last session?
Yeah, I gave it to you at the end of last week. What you made.
Okay,
So, yeah.
cool.
You still have
Just
that mask.
double-checking.
Cool.
Okay. Ooh. Drilling or something. Anyway, let's get
Hoovering,
on.
actually.
I don't know what that sounds like. So anyway, let's go to Jacques and Odette's. So you have an invitation to Odette's today at, like, let's just say around early afternoon, for tea and meeting with her sorcerer.
Yes.
Okay, so guess you're gonna take your card. Like, it doesn't say to take the card with you because this is where this guy is going to properly evaluate them for you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take them.
Okay. As, like, you wander off to your, like, her out of town estate, and there's sleepy face. She's actually waiting for you at the gate herself this time. Previously, you've always been let in by her bouncers, but they seem to not be here.
Okay.
And she's like, Jacques, it's a pleasure to see you as always, my dear.
Pleasure to see you too as well. And, like, I'll compliment the gardens and such since we've not walked them before.
Yeah. Oh, like, you're just, like, polite small talk as she leads you up, and you're like,
Yeah.
I love your petunias. Yeah, you guys have
That's the only thing Tom loves.
he's like 80. Okay. So yeah, you guys make polite conversation, but give me a quick sense motives check.
Yeah, okay.
I'm waiting for that. Whoop. 13. Okay. So yeah, she's being lovely and polite, but you can feel something there. Like there's something hanging in the air. Something like like last time you encountered her, you both did a very good job of acknowledging that you both knew something that you both knew the other person knew something, but neither of you admitted to knowing the thing.
Yeah.
And you believe that has to do with the symbol of the mark of the joyless ones on the shield in the picture.
Yeah.
So, eventually, you are led into I'm almost set up. I forgot to load my name generator again. I do that every week. Yeah. So eventually, you are led inside. You're led to the main foyer, like you've always been, like the living room kind of area. There's actually like a tea set already there.
Yay.
And but she kind of like looks at you and she's like, I hope you don't mind, but part of my Yin Meyer, he didn't really want to meet with you in the first place. Would you mind leaving your weapons at the door this time?
Ooh.
She says, I've never asked you anything like this before. You know I trust you, but this is my friend and my informant, and he's not comfortable with the idea.
Okay, I'll make like an offhand comment. It's a skittish one, is he?
And she's like, you wouldn't believe.
I don't think I've got any chance of concealing anything, have I? Oh well. Yeah, I'll leave my
chance if you wanted to try.
Yeah, but if it goes wrong, it goes wrong badly.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
If it goes wrong, there's a chance that we don't have a session this week.
Yeah.
I'll
hand over my 2 daggers.
Risk it.
I've got other ways out.
Yeah, she kind of plonks them on her on a nightstand. Like she puts them in a drawer, and she's just like, "You'll get them back very shortly. Don't worry about it."
Thank you.
And she leads you into the room. And, while she does, she's like, "You nailed Sinmeyer when you were saying he was skittish. That's why the guards aren't around. He doesn't like anyone with weapons."
Huh.
Just
can I do a sense motive on that?
Yep.
That sounds very suspect.
That sounds very suspect.
No, doesn't.
Something's not to be trusted. Oh my god! Red flags! Red flags! Warning! Warning! Just okay. But yeah, when you enter the room, she picks up like a small servant bell from the desk, and she jingles it. Like she offers you a seat at the same time. She's like, seats there, mug of tea in front of it, and I like a mug of tea. Craig, you've grown a tail.
Yeah, I've always had the tail. Have you not noticed?
Fucking furries. Okay. When after a while after that bell is rung, an elf comes through one of the back doors, another room to the door, not the same one you entered through. He is the typical picture of a sorcerer. Long purple robes with kind of stars on it. He looks like he walks straight out of Fantasia. And proper broad rimmed pointy hat. There's a spider dangling from the point and stuff like that. And he walks with a great staff. Although he doesn't look old. He doesn't look like he needs to walk with it, but he does. He wobbles quite slowly in,
Yeah.
He kind of just takes a hand of staff and just points to the desk. He's like, put him there.
I say hello.
Just put him there.
Raise an eyebrow at that,
You've heard. Is it me? Is it him turning robot, or is it me?
It's him.
Just the 2 NPCs stand there as they hear the robot come to life.
I'm a robot.
You've gone kind of robot-y with your voice.
Yeah, you sound pretty robot-y.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, it's no problem. But yeah, so what did you say? Sorry, I got distracted by the fact that I was listening to Starscream.
Just, not a massive fan of his tone. Give a bit of a sigh and raise an eyebrow at it and then put the cards down, I guess.
Yep. Like he like once the cards are on the table, he looks at Odette. Odette she kind of rolls her eyes back at you, and then she goes to the desk. She picks up the deck, and then she takes them over to him. Like, so he doesn't even want to pick them up off the table. He doesn't trust you that much.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So he starts flicking through the deck of cards. Like he sits down in a chair in the other side of the room, but he's still facing you. Like Odette's made sure that's the case so that you can still see what he's doing with the cards. And he starts kind of sorting them. He's like putting them all, like he's putting them out in patterns, and he's like, And he starts like pulling scrolls out of his jacket, and he's like, his robes, not a jacket. But he's like pulling out all these sort of magical gadgets and scrolls, the sort that you've served sometime like with official magic. You know, you've seen your things. Even you don't have a fucking clue what he's doing. Like. He's like, it's like, you know, he's doing this sort of like pulling out crystal and waving it over certain cards. And then eventually he settles on 3 cards. Sorry, 2 cards. I'm going mad. And he kind of like taps them. He's like, I got it. I figured it out. I got it. He seems really kind of eager. And he's like,
inquisitive sort of gesture.
Yeah, he steps back and he kind of like he asks you to come, like he's like, come stand here, stand exactly there. And he points to a spot on the ground. He's like, you know, it's close enough that you can see what's laid out on the table exactly, but you can
use like scraping to see if there's some sort of magical nonsense they try to do.
Yep,
that's bad.
Of course, you can try that. Like as I said previously, you don't know a lot of the stuff that he's been using. So there's always a chance, for sure. But you didn't see any typical, like, you know, maybe like a rune of, like a trap rune or something, like these sort of things. Like, to the extent of your knowledge, it's safe, but there's always these items that he's been using. But they seem very localized to being used over the cards themselves rather than in the area.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do as he says. Cooperate with him.
Right, cool. So as you step, the entire room explodes. No, okay. As you step closer, like he's circled the cards. He circled 2 cards. Strength that we've already seen before. We've seen strength before because it's the card. It's got like a kind of muscular gladiator guy with a shield on it that has the symbol of King Saddam. Sadim. I had to spell it in my head to get that. And then, you know, it had, and you know, we've talked about that one. And then the other one is the tower, which is number, I had it written down here somewhere, 18? I want to say 18. Number 16. There we go. Number 16, the tower. The card is a picture of, like this sort of like large, like ivy covered tower. Ivy covered tower. I wrote this like 3 a.m. parts of this, so it has like a picture of a magnificent ivy covered tower, at the base of which appears to be some sort of like group. Like they seem to be like partying, chatting, and the door is firmly closed with like a lot of like chains over it, like a lot of chains and like comical padlocks. And he's like, this one's a portal. This one. And he points to the tower.
A portal?
Yeah.
A card?
Yes. Portal.
Where?
He kind of yeah, he's like, I don't know exactly. I know go somewhere.
Anyone able to find it out? Without just
yeah.
It?
No. I love that. Just like, without his jumping through it, no. He's like, listen, I can definitely open this. I can definitely open this.
Dangerous, you know.
What?
It's likely to be dangerous.
I don't know. There's lots of places that aren't dangerous. Could take.
How do you know so much about these cards?
And at this point, he kind of stops looking at you. And he looks over to the deck, and then and he's like, yeah. You know, stuff.
please.
Senses motive.
Diplomacy check.
It's not so friendly as he is.
Hmm?
I don't really know what his motive is.
Is your computer downloading something or something? You.
Nothing is. I'll reset my modem in the break. Modem? Whatever it is.
Rogato, Mr. Rogato.
We will be making cyborg jokes for the majority of this.
When my section here is over, I'll go reset my thing.
Gotcha. It's a shame that this has got to be just your bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Diplomacy check. You realize that it's not him that you have to have the talk with. It's Odette.
Okay.
Odette knows something that she's not letting on.
Yeah.
So you maybe like look at her and like she kind of realizes that it's maybe about time that she talks through stuff with you, and she beckons you back to the seat, and she's cool. She's cool, and she's like she's like, okay, so why do you have these, and how much do you know about them?
Why do I have these? How much do I know about them? Yeah, like I said, I was being truthful. I just picked them up from some trader.
And how much do you know about them? We both know that we're hiding some. We both let's. She's kind of like listening to us. Let's cut the crap, Jacques. You know that I know what this is, and I know that you know what this is. And she's specifically pointing at the strength card.
So like pointing at the point on the card, I just tell her I recognize this symbol.
And the second you say that, like she kind of like clicks her fingers. The wizard points his staff at you. The sorcerer kind of like he does like a tap and he starts pointing it at you. He's like, okay, why do you know what this is?
I'm gonna be remaining calm.
Good choice. Give me a willpower check to see like how calm you can remain.
Oh,
like
yeah.
just in case you're like, holy shit, fuck off, lady.
Save.
Crit save. Yeah, you are deadpan. You are like you are just like you didn't even blink when he did that. Okay,
I know I'm a good boy.
Yeah.
So I'll just tell her that I used to run with a group of thieves, and they came across an item that had that marking on it at some point.
Which one?
Which one? I was very young. It wasn't me on the job, but I believe it was some kind of crown.
Okay. Yeah, that checks out.
Whether or not they actually ever got it is beyond me, I'm afraid.
It's in like she's like, I know exactly where that one is.
I shouldn't even get it then.
Yeah. So like that's all your involvement with these items. Just luck.
Really? Well, look, good or bad, yes. But I'm coming to understand that you have a bit more involvement.
Give me 1 minute. I need to do a quick check on my list. Whoops! I cannot type. /DMR. I think. DM roll. Card type today. Okay. She kind of nods and she's like, okay. And she's like, so you're not one of them.
Whoever them are.
Okay. She's like, I trust you. Okay. What you don't understand is that this shield has been sought after by a lot of dangerous people, and if it falls into the wrong hands, a lot of bad things could happen.
I see. Are we talking about like? Might be a silly question, but is it the shield on the card or an actual shield?
She doesn't really understand how to, like, she doesn't know herself, but she's like, so there is a shield. There's a shield that bears this mark somewhere in the world, and this could very well be the shield.
Sort of like pause for a moment, just like in contemplation about that, because it would potentially cause something quite terrifying.
Well, you already know what it is.
I know it's like linked to it, but not like if somebody took it into their hands that was bad, it would cause horrible problems for everyone.
Yes, those, Dorhim. I'm proud of you, buddy.
Yeah, I know
This
it's part
is
of
the
the
collection
set,
quest.
It's the collection quest, yes.
Yeah. So any of the other cards
I
out there?
like collecting things.
No, none of the other cards have any of the symbols have any symbol on them. It's just this one.
Okay.
And she kind of looks at you and she's like, so I want to know for sure whether this is the shield or not.
How do we find it out?
Well, she kind of like punched and she says, Yinmiar has I pronounced his name like 3 different times, by the way, every time I've said it. He's like, Yinmiar, he says it's the portal. And that's the best lead I've come across to find the shield in centuries. Decades even. Shit, wrong one. In decades.
Dorhim, you might be able to get a shield which will actually hit things and thrown.
And she's like, this is the best lead we've got. You have a band of people that do things for money. I have money, and I want someone to go through there.
I mean, I do like money.
You're not there, Junior. Fuck off.
I know, I was just saying.
He's got his head just like floating around mine. Just I do like money.
Just like,
Yeah, oh, here's
What
money
would
takes
Junior
a-
say now? I do like money.
You've got one of those WWE JD bands.
money.
It's a WWJD band. What would Junior do?
Money, revenge. That's essentially Junior.
Bullets.
I want to know more of her involvement.
Huh?
There's some like pretty high stakes stuff, more than just picking up the odd like lucrative wear now and then. Potentially incredibly dangerous magical artifacts is quite a step up, and I want to know a bit more about her involvement.
Yeah.
Before
Hey, no problem.
going too far. I need to,
Give me diplomacy.
basically saying that I hope she knows that she can trust me, but I need to know that I'm getting the same sort of reliance back.
Yeah, give me a diplomacy. Yeah, she already trusts you to some degree. You've done jobs for her. She's heard tale of what you guys have been doing. And you've been honest with her to as far as she knows. Like obviously you did just leave out quite a big piece of information when you were talking to her, but she didn't realize that you have the locket. That you have one of the marked items, Tom.
Oh!
I forgot.
And that you killed one of the guys who worked at the cult.
I'm unwell.
I know you are, Tom.
Jeez.
But to be fair, I've heard of sore throats before, but I've never heard of one that makes you sound like you're speaking through a fucking fan.
It's called robetitis.
Okay, so
I've been roboticized.
she sits you down. She pours another cup of tea, and she's like, she asks Yimyar to leave, and she tells you the story. Yay! I've had Odette's backstory on her character sheet on her thing since the first session. I finally get to read it. So she talks about the fact that her name is not Odette Aria. Her name is Salthu, which is a much more orcish name. That's bad. But when she like a long time ago, like when she was a young lady, she dropped her name. She dropped her birth name and entered a life of crime when she married her beloved Kular. A lot of these names, please remember, pretty much everything I'm going to read will be public for you guys. It will just be added to Odette's character sheet, which will become more public. So you don't need to write down everything. So they were very famous thieves in Woodhurst, or before the big cleanse that the king put through to destroy the criminal activity in that city. She and her husband were very good at evading guards. Like he was a brute, she was a brain kind of thing. And they got very rich. and that's kind of where they that's what they did. So they thieved, but then when the greatest kind of thieving group in Woodhurst, the Astral League, was disbanded, and the underworld started to clean up, they decided that they would cut their losses. They took what money they had and they fled not too far away. They fled to Marin's Eve and they built this house. And
Nice house.
yeah, they retired from their life of crime and adopted the guise of he became a dock worker and she became a tailor. However, years passed, years and years passed, and then part of their loot was someone came in and tried to steal it from them. It was a necklace. It was a necklace with a weird insignia that before then she had never heard of. A group of people in masks came in and tried to kill it, tried to steal that. But Kular spotted them. He heard a noise in the night and went down. And Kular was murdered by them. He was killed in cold blood. And and they got away with the pendant. At which point, she did everything that she could to start researching that mark. And she knows that it's tied to cult activity, and she knows that there's a whole load, a whole batshit crazy conspiracy going on about a bunch of items. She knows that there's a crown, a pendant, and a shield, but she doesn't know anything else. That's as far as her knowledge goes. But yeah, so she decided to get back in the game to get revenge on these cultists.
Yeah.
That's why she's now this kind of criminal underlord kind of character.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
I love Odette.
I give her some pathetic look.
Yeah.
I assure her that both myself and my resources are on her side in this.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me referring to the party as my resources, that would be me. But, reminder, what did we do for locket? We still have that.
You still have the locket, yes.
Yeah, good. Just
what you've done with it in terms of where it is in the inn and stuff like that is unknown.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. As long as we got it somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna try sense motive just to make sure there's not any other details that have been covered up.
Go for it.
I don't want her to be lying. I like having our friend.
She's not lying.
Yay! We're bad people, so it's nice that we have one person we can trust. Mostly.
Mm-hmm. You can trust your
Well,
party.
I mean, trust is a strong word.
We trust the party. Well, we can nearly trust the party.
Cool.
But I want to ask about Imer. What his name was? Sorry, the wizardy bloke.
Oh, okay. Yimyar, he knows nothing. Pretty much. He knows that I'm looking for items with some pretty pictures, but I asked him to leave when I was telling you this, so you can take from that what you will. He doesn't know much, no. He definitely doesn't know anything about these joyless ones or any of that.
I'm a little worried about that. I still don't trust him. Okay.
He does what he's told to. He's been my appraiser by her. He's been her appraiser for years.
Okay.
He's the guy that when she gets a magic item, she goes to him and says, "What's this do?" And he will do that for her for a price. And that's all he's doing today.
Okay.
Praise the Lord.
Is he still in the building, or has he been sent home?
He's still in the building, yeah. He's still here because he can activate the portal that Odette wants you to jump through.
Yeah. I'm not going on my own, though.
Yeah, of course not. She doesn't expect you to. She expects you to go get your party.
Yeah.
And go on a quest.
Yeah. That's the plan. I'm just going to say to her that What time will it be at this point?
It's like early afternoon, like
Afternoon, right.
afternoon tea.
In that case, we shall return. Well, I'll go back and speak with my party, and then we'll come back. Yes.
Yeah, she says like no problem.
Yeah. But I'll be taking the cards back with me.
Of course.
Right.
As you do, like you kind of like I'm just gonna say, like at this point, Yalmir's probably come back in.
Yeah.
And as you take the cards away, he's kind of like sulking because he wants to play with them some more. But like he doesn't say anything, he doesn't do anything. In fact, he keeps his distance from you because he's a paranoid little shit.
Yeah.
But you can see like the kind of no. At one point, it's like, can you just leave one kind of thing, and then
Fair enough.
so.
Right. I'll head
Back to the inn. Yeah, what are we all doing, guys? And your day off in the saloon?
I'm polishing my precious new baby.
Just like
It's so beautiful.
I think Tom's going to reset his router. So what are we all doing in the inn, guys?
Are we taking our first break?